getting a lot of requests for people asking how to tighten up their hats. I kind of take it for granted that, you know, people just know how to do it, but yeah, there's a lot of subtleties to putting pads underneath hats. It's basically, the idea is to get, you know, enough padding in there without it being too lumpy inside there and stuff, to do it smoothly, you know, invisibly, smoothly and comfortably, and doing it correctly without any, you know, bad side effects and stuff. So it's, you know, it is as easy as putting padding in. It's not that easy though. So we're going to talk about all the subtleties, exactly how to tighten up your hat today. First thing I'll tell you is just go big, go large. If you're not sure, just go a little large. You know, you're between 58, 59 or something. Go with that 59 and pad it down. Ask JJ's if they'll give you some padding. If they don't, you know, have padding to give you free, you know, there's $5 padding, which is really good. This little thing, we call it a sweatband. You just go to jjhatcenter.com, then to products, and then to accessories, and then to sweatband. $5. It's cotton. It's all cotton. Padding inside. Very, very strong adhesive in the back. You peel the yellow backing off, and you stick it inside. It goes in there right against your forehead if you're doing the sweat protection thing. If not, you go in the back underneath the leather. Okay, you either put it in the leather or you put it on the felt. It doesn't matter because they're pretty much going to the same place. Sometimes you try both ways and see which is smoother. Now, if you ever want to get that pad out, sometimes it's tough if you put it on the leather itself, because little pieces of leather can come off with it, but I don't usually think that way because you almost never have to take it out. You just won't. If anything, you might have to take the ends off. You just clip the ends off of it, you know, and make it shorter. So it's usually not much of an issue, but yeah, you can put it on the felt, either one. I'd rather have a piece of leather come off than a piece of felt come off. So I generally just stick it on the leather, or I'll just try both. I'll see which is a little, you know, a little smoother. Okay, how to tighten up your hat. We're going to say go bigger. If you go too small, you're going to have to stretch. Stretching is bad. It's hard to do, and there's too many side effects. The hat loses its shape in too many ways. So you're better off just ripping the sweatband out if you have to. I like doing that because the outside of the hat still looks great, perfect, and you just gain all that room rather than stretching the hat and making it look horrible just to save the fact that you have a sweatband inside, which nobody sees anyway. So just get the sweatband out with a razor blade, pull it out, you'll gain all this room back. That's what I do. And if you need to put something in the front for sweat protection, just put a little piece of one of these stickers in one of these sweatbands. Cut off the ends, put in 4 or 5 inches or something like that. Yeah, stretching is bad, so just go bigger, go larger, just in case. A little bit larger, and on the larger side. In other words, round to the bigger side if you're in doubt. Because tightening a hat is very invasive, and it has no effect on the hat. But stretching a hat is very, very bad. Invasive is non-invasive, actually. Stretching a hat is bad for it, it's invasive, but tightening a hat is non-invasive, basically. It has no real side effects, you know, except for sometimes, you know, the leather might be a little bit, like, lumpy if you have to use a lot, but it mats down, it packs down after you just sweat on it and wear it for a while. And besides, who cares? It's inside, nobody sees it. Behind your head, a little lumpiness is okay. In front, it's going to feel uncomfortable. Always try to pad in the back if you can. The more padding, the longer the piece, the tighter it's going to get. So you start in the back and you extend it. So you can get 2 little pieces, cut them off the ends, add them to the ends. So in other words, you take this, you cut off this end, you cut off this end, and you just use this middle piece under the leather in the back. If that's good, you're fine. If you need more, add those 2 little end pieces and extend it to its full length. it will work smoother in 3 pieces rather than one. You'll need sharp scissors to cut it nicely, good scissors, go slowly, or use a very sharp blade, you know. Cut them, put them in pieces. Now if you have extreme tightening to do, you're going to do one in the back, a full one in the back. You could do it in 3 pieces, like I said, cut it, okay? Then you start working in the front, okay? The sides don't do too much. What I like to do usually is do one in the front, one in the back, and then I make little pieces to connect them so that it all looks like one long black thing. So in other words, one in the front, one in the back, and then a little dash on the side here to connect your front and back. Okay, so you'll have to buy a 3rd pad to do that, just to get those little side pieces if you want it to look like one even black sweatband. Now if you want to do more, you double up the back. You get another pad, okay? You've gone once around the entire thing. Double this up by going in the back, right over what you've got. Double the back. Okay, for me, I like to do one in the back, then I could do one in the front, go all the way around, extend it by doing the side pieces, and then I'll double up the back. So this will tighten it up a lot, from like a 7.5 down to a 7 3/8, maybe a little more, 7 1/4 or something. Then if you have to do more, you get another pad and you double up the front. Okay. As far as those little end pieces, yeah, you could fill them in too. But yeah, double up the back, double up the front. Use those pads on the outside is going to be the best for extreme tightening. So in other words, when you're doing regular tightening, you're going to go underneath the leather bands, okay? Just like this. Once under there, okay? If you need to do a little bit more, you go underneath the front, you connect it all, okay? Now, if that's not enough going under the band all the way once, that's a lot. Then you go, the 3rd one is going to be on top of the leather band, in the back, okay? Now we're going on top. If you need to tighten it up even more, double up the one in the front, over the band, you've got under the band too. And then you could fill up the sides if you want. You could keep doing it. You could triple up the one in the back. The idea is try to use these if you can. Now they cost money. They're $5 a piece on JJ's website called Sweatband. They're kind of expensive. Generally, I don't recommend using that stuff unless it's on top of the sweatband and it's showing. Or if you want really, really smooth results, it costs a little more of that stuff. The reason it costs more is because it's cotton, and you know, you could actually touch your skin to it. You could put it on the outside of the bands, where normally most padding happens underneath. Like, you know, if you're using one piece or a little bit, you go underneath. So we just use regular foam. I use something called polyfoam weather seal, which is weather stripping with an adhesive back. There's a million types. I like all of them, as long as you get about 3/8 inch width is good. 3/8 inch, you could go quarter. Get some, you put it underneath the bands, peel the adhesive off, put it in the back, under there. We'll just start from the beginning. Right under there, just like I said, using the sweat wick, but this is cheaper, okay? Use that stuff, an entire roll, a lifetime supply or something is going to be $3.99, so way, way cheaper than, you know, $5 a pop for the cotton ones. Cotton ones I only use when it's got to go on top of the band and it's going to touch me, or if I have a little bit more money to spend and I want the results to come out very, very smooth, I use those underneath the band. Generally the foam will do the trick if you're just doing 1-2 pieces in back. It's just when you start using a lot of foam, it could get lumpy because it's thick. That's when I start switching to the sweatbands. These are also available on Amazon. It's called Cap Banu. You don't get the terry cloth type, and I don't recommend getting the white color either because they get filthy. The black doesn't show any dirt, and it looks invisible inside your hat most of the time too. Where the white looks, you know, it's bad. It looks so kind of weird, dirty Band-Aid, don't get white, don't get terry cloth either. The terry cloth is for extreme tightening. Somebody going from a 7.5 to a 7/1/8, like an extra large to a medium, you could buy terry cloth ones. A couple of those will do the job instead of like 4 of the regular. But for most people's tightening, you go under the band. You could use something a lot cheaper. You buy weather stripping, from Home Depot, Amazon, or something. Like I said, it's about $4 for a big roll that lasts you forever. I know in a hat shop it could last us, we could do 100 hats with it. So for you, it'll last a lifetime, pretty much. What you need to do, and maybe 50 hats, not 100 hats. What you need to do is just use little strips of it in the back, underneath your leather. You pick up your leather band, you put your foam right in here, or you put it here. I like it here for some reason. It seems, I don't know, safer for the leather. Okay, you put it really close to the seam, not down there. Close to the seam, but not in the seam. Just real close so that you could still flip it over, but it should be towards the closer end, not up here. Okay? Flip it down, and try it on. If the hat is still loose, add some ends to it. Add like a 1 or 2 inch piece to the end. Pick it up. So if you got a 4-inch piece of weather stripping, add some more to that end, and that end. Extend it in pieces. Okay? Go bigger, bigger, bigger. If that's not working, now go to the front. Okay? Work in the other sweatband, pick up the leather, go underneath the band in the front. Pretty much you should be able to do it now. Okay? If you need to do anything more than once around with the weather stripping, it's going to start getting lumpy, and you might want to start switching to this stuff. Same stuff, it's just thinner, and it works a little bit more efficiently. No, not efficiently, because the polyfoam, the regular foam is like a how do you call it? Like it will conform to your head. It's like that stuff they make mattresses out of, like that magic whatever foam. It has a shape retain, kind of like if your head is an oval, it'll only compress in the right places and turn into an oval shape for you. So it has a kind of a self-conforming quality to it, where this stuff doesn't do that. So I'm going to say the foam is very efficient, but you can't get tons of it in there without it being too lumpy. It's good for regular tightening. When you start to get to really big tightening, you use this. Now, I prefer this underneath the sweatband when I can, but if you're doing super tightening, going from XL to medium or something, you're going to have to start going over the sweatbands. I suggest doing it in the back, so you could still have the front with leather against your skin. You could wipe it with a cloth and keep it, sanitary and stuff. You don't want this in front of your head unless it's necessary, unless you're using it for sweat protection. If you're starting to see stains of sweat somewhere, or if you're afraid it might happen, stick one of these over the leather in the front against your forehead. It's the only way to prevent sweat stains, but they feel a little uncomfortable. They feel kind of wet against your head in the summer. But yeah, it's the only way to prevent it. Doing it under the sweatband doesn't seem to work. It's kind of peeks through. So it's got to be directly against the forehead, basically, so the sweat never even reaches the hat. As far as tightening, yeah, start in the back, underneath, and then work your way to the front underneath. If you need more than that, go onto the leather, over the leather. Use this stuff, because it's cotton. Try not to put the foam anywhere, the cheaper foam stuff. Don't put that anywhere where it's touching your skin, because yeah, it's not cotton and it'll probably irritate you and stuff. So yeah, that's about it. The idea is the back, when you put that padding in, okay, when you fold it down, it's gonna look a little bit lumpy, okay? There's gonna be some wrinkles and stuff there, but it'll pack down. Don't worry about it. Just squeeze it, put the hat on, and wear it a while. It's just gonna happen. But after you wear it a while, that stuff mats down and it smooths out. Even if it looks really lumpy now, it's just in the back. Don't ever make it lumpy in the front where you could feel it here. Just lots of padding in the back. That's why I always switch to these when we're doing lots of padding and stuff. It's kind of hard to explain all this stuff. I know I've been kind of all over the place. But you basically have the choice of weather stripping, which is cheaper, $4 for a roll that lasts you forever, or sweatbands, which is on JJ's website at $5 a pop, which are cotton. These will tighten a little smoother, but it's not always necessary when you're doing regular tightening. Standard tightening, the foam is fine. That's what I generally use. This is more for when you're tightening a lot, or if you want it to be a little more smoother, or if it's touching the skin. If you're using it for sweat protection, or on top of the leather for any reason, you've got to use cotton to make contact with the body. Generally, if it's underneath the sweatband, you're doing it in here, foam is fine because you'll never touch the stuff. You'll just forget it's there after a while. That's what happens with foam under the sweatband. Eventually you forget it's there. People bring their hats in all the time to get them stretched, and the first thing I do is I open it up and I look for padding because everybody forgets it. They're the old guy will be like, oh yeah, there's padding in there. That's right, I forgot. That's like 20 years ago. You're like, yeah, you take the padding out. The hat's bigger now. Oh, wow, thank you. But it's not unusual because we forget. When you first put the padding in there, it's a little bit lumpy. You're worried about it, isn't it? Just let it go. Let it go. Let it be slightly lumpy in the back, behind your head. Wear it. Forget about it. Use it. No one will see it or care about it. It fits. It fits nicely. The leather will eventually mat down just from the heat, your body, your perspiration, everything will make that lumpiness just go away. And I do it to all my hats. Eventually you just forget that stuff in there. So yeah, repeating myself, just go big, tighten it up. If you have any questions about tightening, I'm going to do some more videos on this where I actually show you me tightening up some hats. Right now I've got just this one sample here. But, that's it. On Amazon they're a cap brand new. On JJ's website you could buy them by the single piece instead of like 3 packs, or by the whole case. So it's kind of a good thing. It's only $5. So go to jjhatcenter.com and look for accessories and then sweatbands, and this is it. That's how you tighten your hat. It's also good for ladies who wear makeup, guys who do shows, and you're afraid you're going to sweat up your hat. You just put it up in the front there. This takes the makeup, this takes the sweat, this and that. You peel it off, you put a nice, fresh, clean, brand new cotton one on again. Your hat is still clean, it's got no residue, nothing. Where all your other hats are covered in pancake makeup or sweat or whatever. The hat that has this is clean. So it's a great little product for many, many reasons, but you have to use it the right way and use it when necessary only. That's about it, because a leather sweatband against the head is generally a little bit more comfortable than that. They're great when they're new, but as they get older and wet, I'm just looking at this sparkle, it looks so cool. Pick pockets. Alright. Anyway, that's how you tighten your hat, guys. jade hats and